Wanna learn English without boring grammar drills and endless rules? Stories are your secret weapon. Real, weird, funny, everyday stories that help you learn naturally. Today's story? It's about a guy who went on a tour, and somehow became the tour guide. Hit that like or follow if you enjoy learning this way, because we do this every single day. He wasn't trying to lead anybody. He really wasn't. He had just signed up for a walking tour in an old, historic city, the kind with cobblestone streets, narrow alleys, and stories behind every building. He liked solo travel, and group tours were sometimes a good way to meet people and learn new things. He arrived early at the meeting point, just to be sure. The square was quiet except for a few pigeons and some street performers setting up nearby. He leaned against a bench, checking his phone. A few minutes later, people started arriving. First, a couple from Germany. Then, two women speaking Spanish. Then, someone with a huge camera hanging around his neck. The group started forming, slowly. But something strange happened, everyone kept looking at him. Someone asked, "Excuse me, are we starting here?" He looked up. Yeah. I think so." Another person pointed to a map on their phone. "Do we go this way first?" He blinked. I guess so." Then, someone handed him a list. "This is the itinerary, right?" Now he was confused. Where was the real tour guide? He looked around, expecting someone with a flag, or a hat, or a microphone. But no one stepped forward. And because he had been standing there first, looking calm, checking his phone, everyone assumed he was in charge. And before he could correct them, the group began walking, following him. He panicked for a second. Then thought, okay, just walk slowly. Maybe the guide will show up any minute. But they didn't. So now, he was leading 10 people through a city he barely knew. He stopped in front of an old church. He had no idea what it was called, but he said, "This is, one of the oldest buildings around. The architecture is, really classic." People nodded. Someone took photos. Another person whispered, "He really knows his stuff." He laughed quietly to himself. They kept walking. He remembered a cafe someone had mentioned in a blog post, so he led the group there. And on the left, that's a place known for amazing pastries. "Oh," someone said, "can we stop?" They went inside. People ordered snacks. He sipped water, pretending to be casual. Still no sign of the real guide. By the time they reached the river, he had made up 3 stories, guessed the history of 2 buildings, and somehow taught someone how to pronounce cathedral. He wasn't sure if any of it was accurate, but no one complained. Everyone looked happy. Then, finally, just as they were taking group photos near the bridge, a woman rushed toward them. She was holding a clipboard and looked out of breath. "I'm so sorry," she said. "I got stuck on the train. Are you all here for the tour?" The group stared at her, then turned toward him. He stepped back. I'm actually not the guide. I'm just one of you." Silence. Then, someone laughed. Then another person clapped. Soon, they were all laughing. "You were better than a real guide," someone said. "You should do this full-time," joked another. He laughed too, but inside, he felt something strange. Pride? Confidence? Maybe both. He had just led a group of strangers through a city he didn't know, and somehow, it worked. Sometimes, you don't need to know everything. You just need to keep walking, stay calm, and smile like you do. Ever been mistaken for someone you're not? That awkward moment can turn into something funny and unforgettable. And while you were listening to this story, your brain was picking up English without even trying. That's how we roll here. If you liked this one, leave a comment. What would you do if 10 people followed you thinking you were the guide? And don't forget, new stories drop every single day, fun, useful, and full of the kind of English you actually need. See you tomorrow.